I haven't eaten pasta salad in years, but here I just dropped this new spiral noodle that might be changing that. So today I'm going to try it for the first time and see if we're going to be able to add this pasta recipe back into the potluck rotation. Hi, I'm Tina, and on this channel I share low-carb, high-protein recipes that taste good. I eat this way because I have to. I have reactive hypoglycemia, and a low-carb diet is the treatment. So I have been making this pasta salad for at least 20 years. I've taken it to cookouts, taken it to work potlucks, to family events, and I just figured when I went low carb, it was gone for good. But we're gonna see if Hero's bringing it back to life today. So we're gonna start with the pasta so it has a chance to cool down while we're chopping up the rest of the ingredients. Now, before being low carb, this is the pasta that I use. I use that tricolor one, and this one is a 12-ounce box. Now, the Hero one is so new that they're still in white boxes, but they did send a card with all the detailed information. And this box is 8 ounces. So I am going to cook 1.5 boxes just so that I have the right amount of pasta for the ingredients that I had. Can anyone remember when this used to be 16 ounces though? All right, so we're going to boil that in 8 cups of water with a heavy pinch of salt in there. And you typically boil them per the instructions for 5 minutes. I like to go an extra 2 minutes on my pasta salad just because when you put the pasta, if you cook it al dente and you put it in the fridge, then it gets rubbery when that starch seizes up in there, or it hardens up when it gets cold, and so your noodle will get rubbery. But if you cook it for just 2 extra minutes and soak in some more water, then when you put it in the fridge and that starch hardens up, then you're going to have just the right al dente texture. So I'm going to cook these for 7 minutes and we'll be right back. Okay, so I got the pasta off the stove and drained, and it's going to sit here and cool while we work on the rest of the ingredients. I am truly curious though, how many of y'all rinse your pasta for a cold pasta salad? Now, I never rinse the pasta for hot sauce so that the sauce will grab onto it, but I've always been taught to rinse a cold pasta salad. So I'm just genuinely curious what everybody else does. Just drop me a comment down below and let me know. All right, so let's talk about some ingredients real quick. I am using the Applegate turkey pepperoni to keep calories and nitrates down. I'm going to cut these into quarters just so that they're smaller and easier to bite into in the salad. But what I did used to use, and they're very convenient, are these little round little pepperonis. So if you have access to these, they're super quick and easy to just dump in the pasta salad. So I kind of like this option. Also, I use banana peppers in this recipe, but if you want something a little tangier or delier kind of tasting, you can of course choose a pepperoncini. Those work in this salad as well. Now, this is a very forgiving pasta salad, and of course you can swap out the ingredients that you like the best. I chose an orange bell pepper. I typically stick to the red, yellow, and orange because they're sweeter, and I chose orange today only because I have red from the pepperoni and yellow from the banana pepper. So I just wanted a contrasting color. For cheeses, I chose pepper jack because I like a little bit of the spice. I chose a Colby Jack and a sharp cheddar. Just sharp cheddar happens to be my favorite cheese. So just pick out what you like the best on those. Now, on the block of cheese, they are 8 ounces, and this recipe only calls for 6. So I will usually just cut up these into 4. And then you already know you've got the 2 ounces that you can set aside and use for something else. And then I'll just chop these for the salad. Now that everything's chopped and the noodles have cooled down, we're going to assemble our bowl. And I'm going to show you a trick that I use with the salad dressing after we get everything put together. So let's get our noodles in here. They're so cute and tiny. Just a little bitty spiral here. But I'll tell you what, one serving has 32 grams of fiber. So you're going to want to make sure that you are taking in enough water while you're eating Hero pasta, just to ensure that your belly stays happy. All right. So now we're going to follow that up with our cut up pepperonis. And then we have our diced bell pepper. And then we have some pepperoni, or I'm sorry, I used the banana peppers. We have banana peppers. And then each of our cheeses. So I have the Colby Jack. Put it to one little 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch squares, just, you know, bite size. And then we've got the white cheddar. And the pepper jack. I should have got a bigger bowl. It's been a minute since I've made it. All right. And then, of course, I've chopped up the broccoli and the cauliflower. So we'll get that in here as well. Yeah, I probably should have had a bigger bowl. We might have to swap that out so we can give this a stir. Right. Sorry about that. There we go. All right. For the salad dressing, I learned this years ago. And basically what you're going to do is squeeze off this extra oil that's sitting at the top. So you have the line right here where all of the seasoning is and down. So you want to keep all of that, but you want to get rid of all of this oil up here. All it's going to do is just make your pasta salad oily, and the flavor is all down here. So you don't really need any of this. It's just extra calories. Now, I will tell you that the way I do this is kind of messy. So I have the bowl here. I don't want to pour it out because then you might lose some of this goodness down here. So I just squeeze I didn't mean for it to do that. You just squeeze it until it all comes out here, and you got that seasoning right at the top of the rim, and you know you're good. Now, I will keep this oil in the bowl while I'm stirring up the pasta salad just to ensure that I do have indeed enough liquid. And then sometimes what I will do is buy a second jar of this because as it sits in the refrigerator and starts soaking in, it can get a little bit dry. I'll just add some each day to ensure that it doesn't get too dry. And then we're just going to put this over the salad. Just like that. All right, let me wash my hands. Okay, now we want to add in a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. I was the person at Olive Garden that the waiter would break his arm trying to wind out all the cheese, the grated cheese, because I never would tell him to stop. So do it to taste. If you like more Parmesan cheese, add more Parmesan cheese. And then we've got this salad seasoning, and I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of that. And again, this is to taste also, so sometimes I will add more as I stir it up and taste it just to make sure that it comes out okay. So we're going to give this a good stir now. Oh, look at all of those beautiful colors. I will start by saying that I am highly impressed with how well these hero noodles held up to this process. A lot of times, if you notice the low carb noodles, they tend to break up and break down and break apart, and they just don't hold up very well. So already I am very impressed. Before I give this a taste, I do want to let you know that I load all of my recipes in MyFitnessPal. So if you use that to log your macros, it'll be there for you under ShePrepsSmart, high protein summer pasta salad. I will also drop this printable down in the comments so that you can have a copy of the recipe. And I'm going to put a QR code right here for my TV viewers. That way you can scan it and get to the printable version later. It also has a macro breakdown on it as well. So you'll get all of that information in the comments section. All right, we're going to give her a taste and see how it turned out. Get a little bit of cheese and some noodle and some pepperoni. I've missed that. Oh my goodness, this is good. Okay. So that pasta, you cannot even tell is a low carb pasta. It's got a very nice bite to it. The salad seasoning is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's giving it that whole pasta salad vibe. Parmesan cheese gives it that nice bite. Of course, I'm a huge cheese fan. So that happened to be the cheddar, which was my favorite. So I actually really enjoyed that bite. I can even taste some of the banana pepper sweetie tanginess. I am so excited to have pasta salad back in my life again. I cannot tell you how happy this makes me. So as far as storage, this will stay in the refrigerator for 5 days in an airtight container. It actually tastes better the second day after all of the flavors have had a chance to mingle and meld and get all of that yumminess on the noodles. Second day is the best day. That's the high protein summer pasta salad. 21 grams of protein, 6 grams of net carbs. And this baby's back in the potluck rotation. Pretty excited about that. So if you have a potluck to go to and you also need to take a sweet or a snack or a treat, I'm going to drop you in a playlist right here for those. If you find something that you like, I hope you consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching my video.